Alright, so you got yourself an SN95 Mustang and you want to start modding it, but you don't really know where to start. I got you. So whether this is your first car and you're just about to start modding it, or you're thinking about getting one of these are the first 5 things you should do to make this car better. Let's get into it. Alright, so at number 5, this is one of the first mods pretty much everybody does whenever they get, a sports car, muscle car, whatever the case may be, and it's a cold air intake. So cold air intake is probably going to be one of the easiest mods you're ever going to do. Bolts right up. Honestly, you're not really going to get that much in the way of like performance out of a cold air intake if you're putting one on your car. Really, the only thing you really get are some cool intake noises whenever you step on the gas or you're revving it. Again, don't expect much in the way of horsepower when you're doing this, but it's a good starter mod. It's a good little something to like dip your toes in this whole modding thing. And again, it's super easy. At number 4, we have window tint. So a lot of modern cars nowadays come with factory window tint straight out the box once you get them from the dealership. A lot of these cars are about 25, 30 years old, so you're not really going to get window tint all that much. You don't have to go super dark on one of these, just a little something to where your car isn't a fishbowl anymore. I don't know about you guys, but whenever I'm driving around, I don't want people seeing what I'm doing inside my car. Again, you don't have to go super dark. My personal preference, I got 5% on my car. Haven't done this one yet, but it's definitely on my mod list. But not only that, it does give you a little bit of shade from the sun. I live in Texas, it gets hot out here. So getting some tint, really does go a long way. Alright, so number 3, this is an issue I've had with this car for, I don't even know how long, probably almost a year at this point. And it's a very common issue when it comes to the SN95, and I'm pretty sure the new Edge too. Let's talk about the gauge cluster, okay? So, speedometer, odometer, gas tank, oil pressure, oil temp, battery, all that stuff, it tends to stop working on these. Alright, so there are a couple ways you can go about like fixing this. So as far as the speedometer and the odometer go, the gauge cluster has this little like gear in the back. You just take that out, replace them, and you should be good to go. But if everything goes out like it did on mine, then you're probably just going to have to replace the entire thing. If you don't want to replace the entire thing, if you think like yours is going to hold up, like it's still good, by all means just stick with your stock gauge cluster. If you haven't replaced those little gears in the back, you can just go ahead and do it, save yourself the trouble. What Ford did with these cars, they put like a really cheap plastic gear in there that breaks easily. It just crumbles over time. It's a super easy fix. Costs you about like maybe $5 in about 30 minutes every time. Super easy fix for a little bit of peace of mind. Alright, so at number 2, you gotta modernize these, alright? These cars 25 years old. Cars get a lot of hate for a lot of reasons. Part of the reasons is because they kind of look like a melted jelly bean. Not my words. Again, if you want to stick it with like the whole entire OEM, keep it stock, keep that like original 90s look, then by all means go ahead. But if you want to have like that 90s styling with just like a touch of 2023, go ahead, go get you some new parts, make it look a little bit more modern. If I had to suggest a couple mods to go with, replace the lights and the wheels, give it a really more, like I said, and keep saying it, a little bit more modern feel. In my opinion, I don't really like the stock wheels on this. I definitely don't like the stock lights. Back when I first got my car about 7 years ago, the lights were one of the first few things that changed. Now, you can get away with like the stock tail lights. In my personal opinion, I don't really like them. One thing that modern Mustangs do have that I got on mine that I like, that makes it look a little bit more newer, is just a simple like plug and play sequential taillight kit. We've all been behind a newer Mustang, an S550. When the turn signal's on, it just goes 1, 2, 3 between like the tri-bar taillights. It's a small tweak that Ford did, but honestly, it's inspired a lot of other cars. I think Camaros are doing it now. I like it. It's different, it's unique, so I decided to put that on mine too. Alright, so before we get into number 1, there are some honorable mentions I have to mention. So if you have one of these and you know about the little antenna right here, the stock one is like 12 feet long for some reason. I have no idea why they did that. Again, one of the first mods I did was go get a little shorty antenna. In my opinion, it just looks way better. You don't have like this giant like fishing pole thing just sticking up right here. But I mean, yeah, just shorty antenna, trust me. So another honorable mention that I'm going to recommend to everybody. Alright, so this one kind of goes hand in hand with the new antenna. Get yourself a new radio, modernize it a little bit like I said in the previous entries. If you have one of these cars and you're still stuck with 90s technology in it, then there's something seriously wrong with you. You don't have to spend like the big money. See, I recommend something with Bluetooth or at least an aux. Just something to, something new, something nice. You don't have to go crazy. Like I said, it's just replace that old radio. Just do it, trust me. just do it. All right, and the last honorable mention that we're going to have for this video is the Mach 1 shin spoiler. So you guys can't really see it online because it's kind of dark in here. Trust me, this is another one of those mods that are like super easy to do. It took me really about like an hour or two just to put on. Mach 1 shin spoiler will completely just switch up the entire front end of your car. It looks so much better with this. You know, if you have your car lowered and you put a Mach 1 shin spoiler on it, it is going to make it look a little bit lower. Again, this is just one of those like night and day differences. Like my car before the Mach 1 and the car after the Mach 1, it's subtle, but like it looks so much nicer. It's like we completely gave the car an entire like front facelift. I'm not exaggerating, it looks way better. Okay, so I'm not gonna lie, this last model can get a little bit pricey. You know, again, you're doing lowering springs, you're doing your spacers, all of which are gonna cost you like several $100s, depending on what price point you go to. If you do this mod yourself, then you know you're looking at about an entire afternoon's worth of work. If you don't want to put yourself through that, you gotta take it to a shop. Again, that's more money it's gonna cost you out of your pocket. But trust me, I put this at number 1 for a reason. This is my favorite mod that I've done on this car. Like I said, it completely changed the look. It looks way better. Yeah, you know, I feel like literally every single bump on the road and I'm scraping on everything. 10 out of 10 would recommend. It just looks so much better, bro. Like, go back and watch the video where I did the lowering springs on this car. The difference is literally night and day. I don't know what else to tell you. Just fix your stance. Come on. It's 2023. We can't have like terrible stances out here anymore. Alright, so that's gonna be it for this video. So this entire list has been just my personal opinions. This is what I've done on my car, and this is what I recommend people to do on their car. You know, you don't necessarily have to follow this. Again, this is my opinion. At the end of the day, your car, your choice. Do whatever you want. But if you're looking for somewhere to get started, you know, I hope this video helped you. If it did, drop a like, comment down below what's one of the first mods you did on your Mustang, and subscribe because I make car videos every Monday.